Hey, good afternoon, peace and blessings. No, I just want to continue on what I usually in my content about with the spiritual warfare. The correlation between that and being demon possessed. Having demons attached to your spirit. Being an agent of the kingdom of darkness. Whether you're under the Jezebel spirit, Ahab, or a mix of both. Python, Leviathan, whatever it may be. Most likely, people that you may have known, that you will know in the future under majority of the Jezebel spirit, shame tactics, demonic agent of the kingdom of darkness. They use the shame tactics, because it is reminiscent of what they have to go through in their lives, to be bonded with demons that they're possessed with. The Freemasons, powers that be, the devil, demonic agents, have given them things of shame, in their lives to, force them into, demonic bondage, which they seek to project onto other people. You know, but true lovers of God, chosen ones, we are like literally the epitome of a mirror, or a mirror image of what their lives really are. Literally, um, when you are a chosen one, you are a mirror to these people in their demonic ways and the shame that they carry, throughout their lives. So they will hate you. They will seek to stop you. They will seek to, humble you. But it is impossible to humble the Holy Spirit in your soul. Obviously, you were chosen for a reason because God probably understood that you care more, of the business of spiritual things, more than your social media or more than, being around a bunch of people who hate you, to look like a bunch of people who hate you, pretty much, and go to hell. Pretty much what these people seem to want to do, with their lives, with their purpose, pretty much. But the devil, one of his main tactics is shame, that he uses against you. Myself, I went through my humiliation, period, season. I've jumped through it like, cow over the moon. Because I don't really care for the things that people say about me because I understand that people just project everything, that they feel about themselves, onto you negatively. People are not really intelligent enough to really understand that I see through them, because I see your spirit. I see the Jezebel spirit that you're under. Jezebel spirit, very talkative, a coercive, manipulative, spirit. People who seek to manipulate you and the light that you carry, for dark reasons. Usually for jealousy and envy, really, and shame of the things that they have to go through. These men, the Freemasons probably, ran a train on them or something, and things of that sort for them to get down, with the coat, and these women, they lay with these, Baphomet men, they allow these Baphomet men to corrupt the rooms and they have kids with them, all for the sake of, social acceptance. As you hear the Matrix, the noise tactics, go off in the background. I'm sorry, I can't really do nothing about that. I'm obviously chosen because, I've talked about it in many various previous videos. If you hear the noise distractions, you hear the noise tactics, it's because I'm, giving off a high vibrational frequency into the matrix, and they don't like that. Usually when it comes with telling the truth, about people's actual reality. So it is what it is. I can't really do nothing about that. I'm just chosen. So I'm sorry if you hear that. Can't really do nothing about the devil. He's the king of this world. But anyway, not to get off topic, the devil, traps your mind. He traps your ability to think. He had these people, out of very, subhuman, level thinking. It's called an animalistic mind in the Bible. Under shame tactics, he has them do things that are demonic, that are perverted. Give their children over to perverted things. Do perverted things themselves. To fit into this, Romanistic, Greekish, New Babylonish, Sodom and Gomorrah-ish society that we're under now. In present day America, which is really sad, which is really, we kind of went backwards in our evolution, through the Freemasons, pretty much, through their leadership, these women, these men, they seem to just give over power of this society to them, and just follow suit, like a sheep in mind. And as you hear the noise distractions in the background, it's obviously because I'm sure I can't really do that because I'm telling the truth about what these people are. They're perverted, freaks. They're narcissistic people and they're perverted demons, who use shame taxes against people of the Lord. Who have none. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like hustling backwards. It's like in, if you ever go on Instagram, you got the Spider-Man meme, somebody pointing, it's like they're pointing at you and I'm pointing, it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like we're both pointing at each other, but, what you have to say about me doesn't make any sense towards, your goal, your end goal. You're kind of just mirroring back to yourself. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it truly because I'm very high intelligence, but it's just what the devil has you go under when you're in your wilderness season, like I am. I'm really much at the end of it. you know, in my wilderness season. I've completed all, you know, I always complete the tests and the levels that God, you know, sets against me and the devil as well. You know, simultaneously in your wilderness season, God and the devil, you know, they test you. You know, they test your merit. They test your willingness to serve through adversity. You know, but me, I just understood this, you know, 5 levels ago. So I just always will pass the level. I always understand everything that people do nowadays is demonic. You know, they're demon possessed. They're demon riddled. You know, they're under and controlled by perverted demons who seek to do nothing but, you know, use their vessel for perverted, you know, crazy things. You know, while simultaneously trying to live, you know, a normal life, I guess. You know, that is what this world is left to become. It's just new Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, aka America. You know, and the Freemasons understand that people care more about what other people think about them than God and Jesus Christ themselves. You know, so they have people do these perverted, you know, evil, wicked things, you know, to have them under shame, you know, to control them, to control the population. Because most of the population, you know, understands what alpha and beta mindset is, but they really live under the beta. These men don't even realize that the things that they do on a day-to-day basis is feminine energy, like, you know, flashing money, you know, flashy car, flashing all, you know, that's feminine energy because you're trying to attract things. You know, that's feminine, you know, but, you know, they'll swear up and down, you know, to the mother that they're alpha, but they don't understand, you know, scientifically, you know, biologically, you're beta. You know, you're giving off feminine energy. You're a feminine male. You just don't realize it because you're not smart enough. You know, it is what the devil has socially programmed our society to be, a society of masculine, you know, Jezebel spirited, you know, women and effeminate Jezebel, Ahab spirited men. This is what our society is nowadays spiritually. That is the correlation. Now it's become new Rome, new Greece, new you know, new Sparta in America. You know, that's literally what it is. Basically, you know, just people that you're around, that you know, that you may have known, you know, they just gave over, you know, the control of their society, you know, just to these free, you know, just like hook, line, and sinker. They just fell for whatever, you know, it took to get them wrapped under shame, and it just did it like a sheep. In the Bible, Jesus says in the end times, God will separate the wheat from the tare. These people are the tare. You know, people who love God are the wheat. These are the tare. These are the people who do anything and everything and fall whatever foolish tactics. You know, the devil understands that people will be stupid enough to believe anything he says to make their debt in hell even bigger. You know, not even understanding that, you know, simple sins can get you to hell. You know, people, you know, the devil has these people believing that, you know, the more they sin, you know, the greater they are in you know, in debt with him, you know, positively, you know, in a positive way, which is totally the, you know, actual opposite. You know, the more you do, you know, with the devil that is over the top, that is crazy, that is out of this world, that is pervert, you know, you're digging your ditch deeper, you know, to hell. Because, you know, that, you know, I think the devil just realizes that people are stupid enough to not actually do their due diligence to actually study spirituality. They just listen and follow whatever they see on TV, whatever they heard from somebody, whatever they think is cool, and they'll just do it. And that's all they do with their lives. You know, that is their purpose. You know, majority of the world, they're the tare, they're the sheep of this world, the betas. You have to understand this. And the devil's main tactic is shame tactics. Because he understands these people are very narcissistic. They only care about, you know, they don't care about heaven. They just care about what people think that they look like. Not even who they are, not even what they truly do. Just what people think they look like more than going to heaven. And he understands this. And it's very simple to control somebody whose main objective is to look like something while not being it. Because he can give you whatever you need to look like something. That is very easy. That is very minuscule. What the devil seems to do in totality, in majority of this world that is demonically controlled, that is what he does. That is the main goal. The devil will give you the keys to your own damnation. Literally. He does it every day. He does it they've been doing this since 2020. 2020, a spiritual shift happened in this world where demonic agents were being created on a major world scale. You know, people just failed the test of God. It was a test. You know, 2020 was a test. People seem to want to jump to do every sin that God tells you not to do. You know, like in a contest. These people are in a who can go to hell the worst contest, basically. You know, with their lives now. That is all it is. But who can go to hell the worst, you know, hiddenly, you know, behind closed doors, you know, contest, you know, and in broad day, you're acting like you're president of the world, you're Obama, you're kissing babies, but behind, in your house, you're drinking blood, you're having orgies, men is laying with men, these women, God, Lord knows, what they do, I haven't laid with a woman in a year and a month because, I can't, I understand that. The shame taxes the devil has these women under is going to force them to follow society. It's going to force them to lay with men who lay with men. It's going to force them to gain the curses from the men that lay with men. It's going to force them, and so it's like when you're a lover of God, those curses will affect you. It won't affect these Baphometed men laying with these curse-filled women, but it will affect me because I have the Holy Spirit in me. So I cannot lay with them. It is just the truth that I no more. Not any way, shape, or form. The 18-year-old me would have been pissed right now. He would have been, because he wasted his whole existence, trying to do everything in his power to lay with women. And just to find out at 28, you can't even lay with women because they lay with men who lay with men, and brag about it. It doesn't make any sense to me. The things that these demonic people do, their whole lives, their whole existence makes no sense. It's gender confused. It's spiritually confused. It's purpose confused. It's everything confused. Everything, It's literally the Baphomet. It's half and half of everything. It doesn't make any sense. That the things that the devil has people in the spirit of confusion that these people are under. And it's through shame tactics because your mind is your soul. If the devil can attack your mind, he has your soul. That is selling your soul. Like your mind. Your mind is your soul. Your brain is the essence of who you are spiritually. Your mind. You cannot physically give your soul over to the devil. That is things of movies. That is things of fantasy. But if you give your mind over to the devil, he has your soul literally because your mind is your soul. So if he has you under shame, then he controls your soul because he can control anything and everything you do because you're so confused and in the spirit of confusion and so worried about what other people who hate you anyway think about you and your little ego and your minuscule, a below middle class, tri-state life or something that, that doesn't matter, in the grand scheme of things. You're so focused on that other than things of heaven, other than pleasing God, exalting God, which is our actual true purpose in life. And the devil understands this because he's watched us for generations and generations and generations and generations. He understands people are a social creature now. We're much different than what we were, in days of past, in days of our forefathers, who were much more, hunters and gatherers, much more masculine men, much more feminine women who, these women, they carry their vessels like men. They lie with every Baphometed man they can find in a weekend or something and brag about it, like it is a purpose, like it is something great, but, just to, receive demons and then they curse God for it, but not, themselves, not their vaginas, not what they do with it. They curse God for the things that they do, for how much they open their legs, to any, Tom, Dick, and Harry they can find, But since 2020, these men have been given over to the spirit of perversion, the spirit of Baphomet, so they lie with men. So there's like you're opening, you're being promiscuous, but you're taking on Baphomet curses as well. That is worse. And a lot of these women have the nerve to even breed them, and be in public like it's all cool. It doesn't make any sense to me, and God bless them. I just will never understand it because I actually have a brain. I actually have a functioning brain, that works and just understands like, that doesn't make no sense. There's people on this planet that believe in God truly. It is not hard to find them. You just have to find. People just never want to do nothing more than just look cool on social media. That is all they want to do. So if it's that, if as long as they look a certain way on social media, their whole life is complete. It doesn't matter anything of God, any access to heaven. Just look cool for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and your life is complete. Most likely, that is what the world has told me. The world has told me, through my 4 years of spiritual warfare, that these men rather sit down spiritually, not do anything for the community to help spiritually, and lie with men, fall in with cults, the Freemasons, rather than, have sex and be loyal and be normal heterosexual men to their women. So that even shows you that these men don't even really care for women. This is the truth. With women, I don't even understand why a woman would be dumb enough to run to a man like that. Like, obviously, you are like a spoon, a fork, a table, to these Baphometed men. Like, you're obviously nothing. But these women seem to want to breed them. Like, that is the total opposite of a brain. Yeah, that's like a skull. I think these, not to judge them, but it's just through observation of this world. These 4 years of the spiritual warfare I've been under, these women seem to have no brain. Like, truth to be told, like it seems like they have no brain. These women, when they spiritually attack me, they brag about these things like it is cool to me. Like I'm gonna pat them on the head with a gold star for destroying yourself in my face. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't understand it. Truth be told, but I understand they're on a shame tactic. So they project. They have to project how they feel about themselves, which is nothing. They feel nothing of themselves that is of self-worth. So they must project those things to you if you are chosen, to make you feel like how they feel. But I cannot feel like how you feel because I do not live the lifestyles that you live. It is impossible. I read the Bible every day. I pray every day. I'm celibate. I have the Holy Spirit in my soul. How can I feel like you feel? That it is an impossible feat. Truly. And if you're a lover of God, or you may be chosen, whichever it may be, you have to understand that people that are under demons, that are demon possessed, will do nothing but project onto you how they feel about themselves truly, which is worthless, which is a total absence of being connected to the true selves. It is just the truth. I've watched it through my family. I've watched it through intimate relationships. I've watched it through friendships. People project everything that they feel about themselves onto you. You are a mirror to these people's insecurities. It is a heavy burden to carry, but it is just the truth. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Truthfully, I laugh at it nowadays. Before I didn't understand what it was. I still thought it was dumb. When I first was awoken spiritually, I still thought it was stupid because I never really truly listened to how people's opinions. I never understood that people's opinions mattered. To my life. I never. Thought of it like that. I think people maybe do, but I just never did. Ever since a kid, I just never gave, 3 F's, excuse my language, about people's opinions. People's opinions never paid my bills in life. People's opinions never, got me any Jordan. Just me doing stuff that I got to, so I don't understand it. But people seem to care more about opinions of their peers than, gaining access to heaven. Apparently, that is just what the world we're under, this fallen, sunken world. Right now you just have to realize that you need to guard yourself spiritually. You need to remove yourself. You cannot cast your pearls with the swine. I could not cast my pearls with the swine. I could not be on the spiritual level if I was held back with the people who I was in my life before. And if I was in cahoots with them, if I was, I was around them, if I was, any type of way, I had to cut them off, I had to, in Marvel, in the Endgame, Thanos had to collect, all the stone. I had to collect all the spiritual stones to get to this level, so I can snap the devil out of my life, so I can snap these Baphomet men out of my life, so I can snap these Baphomet breeding women out of my life, so in totality, it's sacrifice, it's bearing my cross, it is exaltation of God. It is the only way to remove the devil from your life. Submit to the devil, therefore he shall flee. That is what you must do in this life. You cannot worry about people's opinions. You cannot worry about people's feelings. You cannot worry about people's perceptions. You cannot worry about people's false, fairy tale, fantasy island realities that they create for themselves. You have to worry about what God feels, what God knows, in God's plan. Everything is on God's timing. Everything is for God. Everything is of God. People don't even realize that the devil is not powerful. The devil is a simple angel who was cast from heaven, who had the gift of gab and convinced other angels to fall from heaven as well. Just like he convinced these people to fall in love with the concept of going to hell. It's the same story, just different generations down. It's the same story. Every major destruction in the Bible, when God wreaks destruction on humanity, from the flood, from Sodom and Gomorrah, it's always the devil convincing these people to live a life that is of a Baphomet. If you look throughout the Bible's history, when the end is coming, things of that sort happen first. But this is the last one. We're in end times. You must spiritually block yourself from caring about what demon-possessed people feel about you. Their feelings, their opinions matter none. Because they're demon-filled. It doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is they're filled with demons. So they obviously have no say-so in what you do with your life. Because look at what they've done with theirs. That is just the truth. Jesus tells us to be the salt of this world. Do not cast your pearls with the swine. You know, do not seek to be friends with people who won't let you, be yourself, let your light shine. A lot of people around you will see your light and understand who you are. And those are the people that you keep around. But a lot of people that the closer you know, be jealous of you. Me myself, everybody I used to be around, went against me when I was spiritually woken. For no, they think that Jesus Christ and God is a lottery ticket. The Freemasons really convinced these people that they could get money off of God. They could get some kind of reward for the destruction of the Holy Spirit when the Holy Spirit cannot be destroyed. The same way a God cannot be destroyed. The same way the devil has no blessings for you. The devil has no blessings to give anybody. That is foolishness. An angel cannot bless a human. That doesn't make any sense. People don't obviously understand spirituality and the things of the Bible like how they thought they did before 2020. I lived my life, since I was younger, always realizing in the back of my head that God might be real. So let me not do everything under the book that he says not to do. And I think people did the total opposite with their lives. They chose to do everything in the book that God tells you not to do. When in 2020 you realize that you were stupid, that you were foolish, that you were wrong, and I was right. And that's all. And people will hate you for that because they're wrong about how they did and chose and made decisions in their life as a chosen one, as a lover of God, as a bearer of your cross. This is the things you have to deal with is what you may come against, but God always going to carry us. What God has set in place, no man shall undo. And peace and blessings. And I just wanted to add, not everyone that you will come across in your spiritual journey is going to try to use your light for negative reasons or be jealous of your light or some people, the people that you least expect, that'll come into your life, after God has called you, into isolation and remove demonic people from your life that were most likely in your life in the beginning, of your spiritual walk. They will appreciate your light. They'll understand that, you're just who you are. And those are the people that you share your light with. But the light of God, the Holy Spirit, is not something to be, for money to be made off of. It is not something for material gain. It is not something that people can, use like a lottery ticket. That is impossible. The devil himself couldn't do it if he wanted to. He just fools people enough to believe that foolishness because people are stupid. People will do anything and everything they hear from someone else. So make sure that you share your life with people that you truly respect, that people that you truly, match intellect with, that you truly, will appreciate your life for what it is. Not try to use it for gain that they will not get anyway. Truth be told. And God bless.